No control over them. Oh, well, the Romans have given up and buggering off anyway, so...
That's fine.
That's fine.
But Sarah's mistaken. The Roman army are only retreating for a purpose.
No, they're reforming as we watch.
More Romans forming. The Romans are only now committing their tactical reserve. And that means that the Roman commander only now thinks that the battle has come to its crisis.
Cliff has left his Gallic infantry to face the main Roman onslaught. But without support, even their natural ferocity cannot hold back the Roman advance.
Now that Gallic line has collapsed over here.
That's right.
That's gone and the Romans are pushing through, all according to plan.
Gallic corpses lying on the field. And the Romans are able now to start on against these.
These are the Spanish, by the look of it. The Spanish infantry that are quite good troops. They're experienced, but they're not as heavily armoured as the legionaries.
And the pilum has taken a toll on them, and there we have that brisk charge.
In from the flank. Yep, exactly. Just what the Romans want.
The Carthaginian army are in trouble. Split into small pockets by the sheer weight of their enemy, even their best troops are locked in close-quarter combat. The generals need to make some quick decisions.
Of course, we couldn't seem to mobilise sufficiently the numbers to prevent the Romans going through the middle, and they punch through the middle.
Okay, so given the position you're in now, what will you do?
I think we need to really have an understanding as to where our units are currently.
But across the battlefield, the team's ground forces, outflanked and unsupported, are taking heavy casualties from the mighty Roman war machine.
Zoom down on that.
They're all dead. Very dead.
Right, I don't think we can use them. Okay.
Not in this life.
Nobody could accuse Cliff of not being perceptive. He's switched on, he absorbs, but unlike Hannibal Barca, Cliff is not an experienced battlefield general, and he doesn't know what to do. He can understand the problem, but not understand a solution.
As the Roman meat grinder sweeps across the field, Hannibal's forces may have run out of options.
What does Hannibal Barca do if he realizes he's being massacred? He's in Italy, and it is a long way home, and he can expect absolutely no mercy if he's taken to Rome in chains. I mean, they're gonna cut him up into thin strips, aren't they?
Who have we actually got left alive?
What's that in the trees?
That's the general in the trees.
Right. And to the left, there's a unit to the left. Left scan left?
That's the Gallic infantry that I'm just tempting the...
Oh, no, they're closing it.
If they're still in your left by the time they get there.
Oh, we're going to die very soon.
Oh, this is going to get ugly.
Yes.
With all their early advantage squandered, there's only one way the battle can now go.
All right, here's the last gasp, and the team is now putting in their tactical reserve against overwhelming odds.
It is an appropriately Gallic thing to charge in with your last warband.
I'm just trying to think if we can push them towards the...
Do you want to stay and watch this or leave early?
No. We'll have to stay and watch it. Defeat imminent.
Spin your way out of that one.
We did our best. We're the heroic losers.
Oh.
If we lost the battle, we may win the war.
You are defeated.
Good try.
Hannibal has been fighting against the Romans for a while. Hannibal knows that those guys, that huge mass coming thundering towards him, is going to go through over and over again. No matter how badly it goes for the Romans, those heavy infantry always come through. So what Hannibal does is he builds a box. He builds a box for the Romans to come into. He puts his Gauls and his Spaniards out front, and he pushes them forward to get them engaged sooner, to make sure they come rolling into that box. And that's a trap door.
But the Romans, we're thinking we've got more legionaries than we've ever had before. Even in the defeats we've suffered, as Eric said, these guys have broken through somewhere. They've always given a really good account of them. We've got a narrow plain. We know our problem is that our cavalry keep losing, because there's not very many of them and they're not that good. We've got a river on one side, we've got high ground over here. You can't do what you've done in the past and just trot around here whilst you keep the cavalry busy, envelop the whole thing. So we've got all of our legions, all of our allied troops in this great big block. It's a great big mass of men, the unit's much closer together than usual. It can go in one direction, that way, and that's it.
So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cavalry here on the left, and I'm going to turn them against those Roman cavalry there and make them go away. And let my guys form up. I've got use for those guys later. Meanwhile, those Roman heavy infantry are going to come into my box.
If your cavalry are happy killing them or chasing them around over the landscape, doesn't matter. This lot, this massive phalanx of people here is going to win me the battle. So I've advanced these a little bit, see what's happening over here. These are the skirmishers. They don't get in, they don't destroy you, but they keep these people busy. And as long as my infantry have time to win, then doesn't matter to me. You know, if I have rather less cavalry than I had to start off with, won't make much difference. So I slam in here, right at the center.
Completely unsurprising. It's exactly what the Romans always do. And they come steamrollering through, and they're squashed together, and they're in a big, huge mass. Big mass. Romans, as far as the eye can see, the third line squished into the second line, into the first line, and I know this is going to happen. I've seen it all before. I let my guys fall back. Suddenly, they stop. They turn, they face the Romans, and here, remember those Libyans? Remember how well those Libyans held together? You saw those pikes? Libyans, bookends, right into both sides. Squash, start killing them. Slaughter, slaughter, slaughter.
I should just explain that Derek is a senior lecturer in war studies at Sandhurst. He watched all this.
Well, we don't use the word slaughter very much.
Now, Eric then does something frightfully fancy, or I'll probably do it for him, because I don't think his arms are long enough. Usually, your horsemen see the enemy have gone and just disappear off into the sunset after them. But he doesn't. Hasdrubal, the commander, brings them round behind these Roman cavalry, the allies. And they promptly realize being taken on two sides is not a good move, so they run away. These cavalry then stop a second time. The Numidians do what they're good at. They chase off the fugitives. But it then leaves these people to seal off the trap.
So, that's what really happened. Having seen that, don't you wish you'd done it?
Don't we?
Though massively outnumbered, Hannibal annihilated the Romans at Cannae, leaving 50,000 dead or dying on the field. He had humiliated the mighty Roman Republic once again and sealed his reputation as a military genius for all time. His legendary tactics at Cannae have inspired military commanders ever since, even after the First Gulf War.
Well, in many respects, you did very well, so congratulations. Unfortunately, throughout the programme, you've been double parked, so thanks very much indeed. Nice to see you. That was very good. I love the tactics.
Well done.